Have you ever noticed that no matter how much protein shakes people drink, many still lose muscle as they age? There's a hidden reason why. Muscle loss in our 40s, 50s, and especially after 60 isn't simply about eating more protein, it's about giving the body the right signals to rebuild itself. And here's the empowering truth: your body already knows how to preserve and grow strong muscle. You just need to support its natural intelligence. Most people are told that whey protein is the ultimate solution, but in reality, whey is only one piece of a much bigger puzzle, and for many seniors, it isn't even the most effective one. What really drives muscle health isn't just the amount of protein, but how your body absorbs it, how your muscles use it, and which other foods help turn on the repair switches inside your cells. That's where sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle, can actually be reversed naturally. Think of your muscles like the body's engines. When you fuel them properly, they not only give you strength and balance, but also regulate blood sugar, improve brain function, and even extend your longevity. But when you rely only on protein powders, it's like pouring gas into the tank without checking if the engine can actually ignite. What's happening inside matters more than the quantity of fuel. Today, I want to show you a food that works with your biology in ways protein shakes simply can't. This isn't about gimmicks. And it's not about expensive supplements. It's about understanding the natural mechanisms your body uses to protect muscle, prevent frailty, and keep you living with energy well into your 70s and beyond. By the end of this talk, you'll know the exact foods that build muscle strength naturally, how to time your meals to maximize repair, and why certain nutrient pairings can literally switch on anti-sarcopenia pathways in your body. If you care about staying strong, aging with energy, and keeping your independence for years to come, make sure you watch until the end and subscribe so you don't miss the natural wisdom your body is craving. When most people hear the word sarcopenia, they think it's just another complicated medical term, but in reality it describes something very simple: the gradual loss of muscle that often comes with age. Many people assume it's inevitable that after 60, your body just weakens no matter what you do. But here's the truth. Sarcopenia isn't destiny. It's the body responding to signals, and if we change those signals, we can change the outcome. What's happening in your body is this: from your 40s onward, your muscles begin to respond less efficiently to the same amount of protein or activity you once relied on. Scientists call this anabolic resistance. Imagine your muscles as soil in a garden. When you're young, the soil is fertile, and even a small amount of seed produces growth. As you age, the soil becomes tougher and less responsive, but it can still grow if you enrich it with the right nutrients and give it the conditions it needs. Now, here's what most people miss. Sarcopenia isn't just about weaker muscles, it's about everything those muscles control. Your muscles are not simply for movement, they are powerful endocrine organs. They release molecules called myokines that talk directly to your brain, your immune system, and even your metabolism. When muscle mass declines, so does this powerful communication system. That's why seniors with lower muscle mass are more prone to fatigue, memory decline, and even higher risk of falls and chronic illness. But let's flip this perspective. When you preserve or rebuild muscle, you're not just getting stronger arms or steadier legs. You're lighting up a whole symphony of signals that tell your body, I am alive, I am capable, and I am ready to repair. This is the hidden truth about muscle. It's one of the most potent anti-aging organs in the body. So why does sarcopenia happen? The main reason is that the balance between muscle breakdown and muscle repair begins to tilt in the wrong direction. Stress hormones, low physical activity, poor sleep, and nutrient gaps all push your muscles into more breakdown. On the other hand, deep sleep, steady movement, and nutrient-rich foods push your muscles back into repair mode. This means you don't need to fight your body, you simply need to understand its signals and feed them correctly. One powerful example is the role of recovery. Many seniors try to exercise more as the only solution, but research shows that exercise without recovery nutrition doesn't build muscle effectively. It's like trying to rebuild a house with no bricks. The body needs amino acids, healthy fats, minerals, and antioxidants to lay down new muscle tissue after activity. Without those, the signal to grow remains unanswered. And here's another insight. Sarcopenia doesn't happen overnight. In fact, it can begin silently in the 40s and 50s. By the time most people notice weakness in their 70s, the process has already been ongoing for decades. This is why understanding the physiology now and making small daily changes can literally add decades of strength to your life. A practical protocol here is simple. Aim for daily, consistent nourishment of your muscles rather than occasional bursts of protein shakes. For example, including a plant protein source like lentils or beans in your lunch, pairing it with leafy greens rich in magnesium, and adding a drizzle of olive oil can turn a basic meal into a muscle repair powerhouse. Think of this as sending your muscles a love letter 3 times a day. The truth about sarcopenia is not that your body is failing, it's that your body is waiting for the right support. Your muscles are designed to respond at any age. The same way a dry garden can bloom with water and care, your body can rebuild strength when you give it the right natural inputs. And this understanding that sarcopenia is not inevitable but reversible is the foundation for everything else we'll explore today. For decades, whey protein has been marketed as the gold standard for building muscle. Walk into any health store and you'll see tubs of it stacked high, promising strength, recovery, and vitality. And while whey protein does contain all the essential amino acids needed for muscle growth, here's the part most people don't realize: the way our body processes protein changes as we age. And that's why whey isn't always the best solution for seniors. Let's start with how whey works. Whey protein is fast digesting. Once you drink it, amino acids rush into your bloodstream, peaking quickly, almost like a sugar spike. For younger people with highly responsive muscles, this flood of amino acids can stimulate muscle repair. But for older adults whose muscles are less responsive due to anabolic resistance, this sudden spike often comes and goes before the body has a chance to use it fully. It's like filling a glass too quickly, much of it just spills over. In practical terms, this means seniors may not be absorbing or using the amino acids from whey as effectively as they think. Instead of steady repair, the muscles are left with short bursts of nourishment followed by long gaps of undernourishment. What aging muscles actually need is a sustained, even supply of building blocks throughout the day, more like a slow, steady drip than a flash flood. There's another concern. Many whey protein powders are highly processed. They may contain added sugars, artificial sweeteners, or fillers that can cause digestive discomfort, especially for older adults whose gut health may already be more sensitive. Gas, bloating, and inflammation are common complaints. And here's the deeper issue. If your gut isn't comfortable, your absorption of nutrients drops even further. Your body simply cannot build muscle efficiently if digestion itself is compromised. So what's the alternative? Whole food proteins. Plant-based proteins such as lentils, beans, quinoa, tofu, and tempeh digest more gradually. They provide not only amino acids but also fiber, minerals, and phytonutrients that calm inflammation and nourish the gut. This combination creates the perfect environment for muscles to respond. Instead of a spike and crash effect, whole food proteins give your body a steady stream of resources it can actually use. Think of it like this. Whey protein is a firework. It explodes quickly, then fades. Whole food proteins are like the steady flame of a candle, long-lasting, reliable, and easier to harness. For seniors, that candlelight approach works far better. Another fascinating insight from research is that the effectiveness of protein depends on what it's paired with. For example, omega-3 fatty acids found in fish, walnuts, and flax seeds increase the sensitivity of muscle cells to protein. Magnesium and vitamin D help activate enzymes that turn amino acids into new muscle tissue. Whey on its own doesn't provide these synergistic nutrients. Whole foods, however, often do. Here's a simple protocol. Instead of relying on a daily protein shake, try building meals that combine plant protein, healthy fats, and colorful vegetables. For lunch, A quinoa and lentil salad drizzled with olive oil and sprinkled with walnuts not only delivers amino acids, but also the anti-inflammatory compounds that keep your muscles thriving. For dinner, a mix of beans and roasted vegetables provides slow-digesting protein alongside antioxidants that repair oxidative stress from the day. So the key lesson here is this: whey protein is not bad, it's just incomplete for the needs of an aging body. What your muscles crave is not a quick burst of amino acids, but a steady, supportive environment where food, nutrients, and lifestyle all work together. By shifting from a whey-focused mindset to a whole food approach, you're giving your body the tools it can actually use to build strength, repair efficiently, and resist sarcopenia at any age. When most people think about building muscle, they imagine steak, chicken, or protein shakes. But here's what many overlook: plants can be some of the most powerful muscle-building foods available, especially for seniors. In fact, research shows that certain plant proteins can be just as effective as animal protein when eaten in the right amounts and combinations. And they come with added benefits that animal sources simply can't provide. Let's begin with amino acids. Your muscles rely on a group of 9 essential amino acids to grow and repair. One of the most important is leucine, often called the trigger amino acid because it activates the molecular switch that tells your body to start building new muscle. Many people think leucine is only abundant in animal foods, but plant sources like soy, lentils, beans, quinoa, and chickpeas all provide significant amounts of leucine along with the other essential amino acids your muscles need. But here's where plants stand apart. They don't just bring protein, they bring partners. Unlike whey or meat, which deliver protein alone, plant-based proteins arrive packaged with fiber, vitamins, minerals, and bioactive compounds. These extra nutrients reduce inflammation, improve gut health, and enhance nutrient absorption, all factors that directly support muscle health. For example, lentils and beans provide magnesium, which helps your muscles contract and recover. Quinoa offers both protein and slow-digesting carbohydrates that keep your energy steady. Soy contains isoflavones, plant compounds shown to protect against inflammation and oxidative stress, both of which accelerate sarcopenia. This is why eating plant-based proteins is like giving your body a complete repair kit rather than just one tool. Let's put this into real life. Imagine 2 different lunches. One is a plain whey protein shake. The other is a warm bowl of lentil stew cooked with olive oil, garlic, and leafy greens. Both contain protein, but only one delivers the antioxidants that calm inflammation, the minerals that power your enzymes, and the fibers that feed healthy gut bacteria. And here's the surprising part: your gut bacteria actually play a role in muscle health. Studies show that a healthy microbiome helps your body absorb amino acids more efficiently, making every bite of protein more effective. Plant-based proteins directly nourish this microbiome, while processed powders often do not. Another benefit of plant proteins is their impact on blood sugar. Stable blood sugar is essential for muscle function because when glucose levels swing too high or too low, your body prioritizes energy regulation over repair. Foods like beans, lentils, and quinoa release their carbohydrates slowly, keeping blood sugar steady. This allows your muscles to receive a consistent flow of energy and nutrients, which supports recovery after activity. Here's a practical protocol aimed to include a plant protein at every meal. For breakfast, a tofu and vegetable scramble with avocado. For lunch, a quinoa salad with beans, olive oil, and colorful vegetables. For dinner, a hearty chickpea and spinach stew with whole grain bread. By spreading plant proteins throughout the day, you ensure your muscles get a steady stream of amino acids, exactly what they need to fight sarcopenia. So the lesson here is clear: plant-based proteins are not just alternatives, they are complete muscle support systems. They deliver the amino acids your body needs, plus the anti-inflammatory, gut-nourishing, and energy-stabilizing compounds that make those amino acids work better. By embracing plant-based muscle builders, you're not only feeding your muscles, you're healing your body at the same time, and that's a powerful advantage for staying strong, vibrant, and independent as you age. When most people think about muscle health, they focus on protein and exercise, but here's what often gets overlooked. Protein is only part of the equation. Without certain key nutrients, your body can't fully use that protein to build muscle. These nutrients act like switches turning on the repair machinery inside your cells. Without them, it's like having all the building blocks for a house, but no tools to put them together. One of the most important of these muscle-activating nutrients is magnesium. This mineral is involved in more than 300 biochemical reactions in the body, and many of them directly affect muscle. Magnesium helps regulate energy production in your mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside your cells. It also supports the activation of enzymes that convert amino acids into new muscle fibers. Unfortunately, magnesium deficiency is extremely common, especially in seniors, due to processed diets and reduced absorption with age. Without enough magnesium, even if you eat plenty of protein, your muscles may not get the full benefit. Another critical player is vitamin D, often called the sunshine vitamin. It functions more like a hormone in the body. Vitamin D receptors are found inside muscle cells where they influence strength, balance, and growth. Research has shown that seniors with low vitamin D levels have a much higher risk of sarcopenia and falls. When vitamin D is present, it increases the sensitivity of muscles to protein intake and enhances calcium balance, which is vital for contraction and repair. Then there are omega-3 fatty acids, particularly DHA and EPA, found in foods like fatty fish, flax seeds, and walnuts. These healthy fats have been shown to reduce chronic inflammation, a hidden driver of muscle breakdown. But even more fascinating, omega-3s actually make your muscles more responsive to amino acids. In other words, they lower anabolic resistance, so the protein you eat works harder for you. This is why seniors who consume omega-3 rich diets often maintain stronger muscles than those who don't. Think of these nutrients as the ignition system of a car. Protein may be the fuel, but without a spark, the engine doesn't run. Magnesium, vitamin D, and omega-3 provide that spark. Together, they amplify the signals that tell your body it's time to build, it's time to repair. Here sits a simple protocol to put this into action. With your plant proteins, add a source of magnesium like leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, or almonds. Get natural sunlight each day and consider vitamin D-rich foods like mushrooms or fortified plant milks. Include omega-3s by adding flax or chia seeds to breakfast, or a small portion of fatty fish a few times a week. By pairing protein with these nutrients, you're not just feeding your muscles, you're activating them. Let's take a practical example. A dinner of baked salmon with sautéed spinach and quinoa doesn't just provide protein. The salmon delivers omega-3, the spinach supplies magnesium, and the quinoa adds slow digesting energy. Together, this meal becomes a muscle-activating powerhouse, giving your body both the building blocks and the tools to put them to use. The takeaway here is simple but powerful. Your body doesn't just need protein, it needs the activators that make protein work. When you combine protein with magnesium, vitamin D, and omega-3s, you transform ordinary meals into muscle-building medicine. And this is one of the great secrets of natural health. Your body is designed to heal and strengthen itself, but you must give it the right signals. These nutrients are those signals. One of the most fascinating discoveries in recent years is that when you eat can be just as important as what you eat, especially for muscle health. Our bodies are governed by a natural rhythm called the circadian clock. This internal clock influences everything from hormone release to digestion to muscle repair. And when we align our meals with this rhythm, our muscles respond more effectively to the food we eat. Here's what's happening in your body during the morning and early afternoon. Your metabolism is most active. Your digestive system is primed, insulin sensitivity is higher, and your muscles are more receptive to nutrients. Eating a protein-rich, balanced meal earlier in the day allows amino acids to be absorbed and directed into muscle tissue more efficiently. In contrast, when protein intake is heavily loaded late at night, much of it may be underutilized because your body is preparing for rest, not for activity. But this doesn't mean you should avoid evening meals. In fact, your muscles do some of their most important repair work while you sleep. Growth hormone, which stimulates muscle repair and fat metabolism, is released during deep sleep. To support this, your body benefits from a moderate, nutrient-rich evening meal, something that provides slow-digesting protein, minerals, and healthy fats to fuel overnight recovery. Think of it like fueling a journey. In the morning and midday, you're stocking up your backpack for the day ahead, protein, energy, and nutrients that will keep you moving strong. At night, you're giving your body the repair kit it needs to restore and strengthen what was used during the day. Research has shown that spreading protein intake across the day, rather than eating most of it at dinner, can significantly increase muscle protein synthesis in older adults. For example, instead of having a small breakfast, light lunch, and then a large protein-heavy dinner, try distributing protein more evenly, 20 to 30 grams at breakfast, another 20 to 30 at lunch, and a similar amount at dinner. This steady nourishment helps overcome anabolic resistance and keeps repair signals active throughout the day. A practical example. Breakfast, a tofu and vegetable scramble with avocado, providing both protein and healthy fats. Lunch, a quinoa and lentil salad with leafy greens, olive oil, and walnuts. Dinner, a bean and vegetable stew with whole grain bread, giving you slow-release protein and complex carbohydrates for overnight recovery. By timing meals this way, you're essentially syncing your nutrition with your body's natural clock, maximizing muscle repair and minimizing breakdown. Another factor here is fasting. Short overnight fasts, about 12 hours from dinner to breakfast, can actually enhance metabolic health without depriving your muscles. For example, finishing dinner by 7 p.m. and eating breakfast at 7 a.m. gives your body a natural reset while still providing steady nourishment during the day. Long or extreme fasts, however, can be risky for seniors because they may accelerate muscle loss. Balance is key. The lesson here is that muscle building is not just about quantity of protein, it's about timing. By aligning your meals with your body's circadian rhythm, you create an environment where nutrients are absorbed more efficiently, repair is optimized, and strength is preserved. Your body is designed to work in cycles, day and night, activity and recovery. When you respect those cycles with your food choices, you give your muscles exactly what they need to thrive at any age. By now, we've seen that protein alone isn't enough to fight sarcopenia. Your body needs not just the raw materials, but also the supporting nutrients, the right timing, and the right environment. And here's where everything comes together. The way you combine foods can create a powerful anti-sarcopenia effect. Think of it like music. A single instrument can make sound, but when you bring instruments together in harmony, you create something far more powerful. When it comes to muscle health, the harmony comes from pairing plant-based proteins, healthy fats, and colorful vegetables in the same meal. This trio does more than just feed your muscles. It reduces the hidden inflammation that accelerates muscle breakdown, stabilizes energy, and nourishes the gut, which improves nutrient absorption. Let's start with plant proteins. Lentils, beans, chickpeas, quinoa, and tofu provide essential amino acids like leucine, which act as the spark to muscle repair. On their own, they're already powerful, but when combined with healthy fats like olive oil, avocados, nuts, or seeds, the impact deepens. Why? Because these fats reduce chronic low-grade inflammation, a silent fire in the body that weakens muscle tissue over time. Omega-3 rich fats especially make muscle cells more responsive to amino acids. That means the protein you eat works harder and more efficiently. Now add colorful vegetables into the mix. Spinach, kale, carrots, peppers, and berries aren't just side dishes, they're anti-inflammatory medicine. Their antioxidants and polyphenols neutralize oxidative stress, which otherwise damages muscle cells and accelerates aging. They also provide vitamins and minerals like magnesium, potassium, and vitamin C, which are critical for muscle contraction, repair, and collagen synthesis. Together, this food combination creates what I call an anti-sarcopenia shield. It feeds the muscle, calms inflammation, stabilizes metabolism, and improves recovery. For example, a meal of black bean and quinoa salad with roasted peppers, drizzled with olive oil and topped with pumpkin seeds, is not just satisfying, it's actively telling your body, build, repair, protect. There's also the gut connection. When you combine fiber-rich plant proteins and vegetables, you feed beneficial gut bacteria. These bacteria produce compounds called short-chain fatty acids, which reduce systemic inflammation and improve nutrient absorption. This means your muscles not only receive more building blocks, but also operate in a calmer, healthier internal environment. Here sits a practical daily approach. Lunch, lentil and spinach soup with a side of whole grain bread finished with a drizzle of olive oil. Snack, a handful of walnuts and a small bowl of blueberries. Dinner, chickpea and vegetable curry cooked in olive oil served with quinoa. Each of these meals isn't just food, it's strategy. It's a natural protocol that supplies amino acids, switches on repair pathways, and dampens the hidden fires that cause muscle loss. The key takeaway is this: no single food is a magic bullet, but when you combine the right foods in the right way, they create a synergy that your body recognizes immediately. This is why cultures with traditional diets rich in beans, vegetables, and healthy fats often see lower rates of frailty even into advanced age. Your muscles aren't just waiting for protein, they're waiting for the symphony of nutrients that tell them to thrive. By building meals around this anti-sarcopenia food combination, you give your body a daily prescription for strength, vitality, and resilience. And the beauty is it's all natural, it's all accessible, and it works in harmony with the way your body is designed. We've covered a lot of ground today, but if we step back, the message is simple. Your body is designed to stay strong and resilient at every age, if you give it the right support. Sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle, is not a life sentence. It is a signal that your muscles need steady nourishment, the right activators, and the daily rhythm that aligns with your biology. Think of what we've explored together. We began with the truth about sarcopenia, that it's not inevitable, but a process driven by signals your body interprets. Then we looked at why whey protein, while helpful for some, often misses the mark for seniors because it floods the body too quickly without lasting support. Instead, whole food proteins, lentils, beans, quinoa, soy, offer amino acids along with fiber, minerals, and anti-inflammatory compounds that make them far more effective for long-term muscle health. We also learned that nutrients like magnesium, vitamin D, and omega-3 SAS act as switches. They don't just sit in the background, they activate the machinery that turns protein into living, working muscle. Without them, protein is like bricks without mortar. And then we looked at timing. Eating in rhythm with your body's circadian clock, spreading protein across the day, and fueling overnight repair ensures that your meals work with your natural cycles, not against them. Finally, we saw how combining plant proteins, healthy fats, and colorful vegetables creates a synergy, a food harmony that not only feeds muscle, but protects it from inflammation and oxidative stress. What this really means is that every meal you eat is an opportunity to send your body the signal, repair, grow, thrive. Muscle is not just about strength. It is about independence, balance, metabolism, and even brain health. When you preserve muscle, you preserve the quality of your life. So here's your natural health challenge. Starting today, add one muscle supporting combination to your daily meals. Maybe it's a quinoa and bean salad for lunch. Maybe it's adding walnuts and blueberries as a snack. Or maybe it's a chickpea stew with olive oil and greens for dinner. The key is to make this consistent. Your muscles respond not to occasional efforts, but to steady daily nourishment. And here's something beautiful to remember. It's never too late. Even in your 70s or 80s, your muscles can respond. Studies show that seniors who begin eating balanced, protein-rich meals and moving their bodies see improvements in strength, balance, and energy within weeks. Your body is always listening, All you have to do is speak to it in the language it understands through food, rest, and rhythm. If you found this helpful, let us know in the comments. What will you try first? And don't forget to subscribe and join this journey of natural healing and healthy aging. Your body is ready, you just need to give it what it needs.